Ladies and gentlemen, I'll take a breather. When we come back, Fortune and Alex, and Alex on the show with me. We'll be discussing those mistakes that you make, maintenance mistakes, bad driving habits that damages your car. Stay tuned.
Exciting and stimulating talk. Nigeria Info, your number one for talk. Let's talk. On your number one talk station.
You get a daily dose of news trends.
Crisis averted in aviation sector after aggrieved unions suspend strike.
Intense conversation.
She's among the ICPC board members. Oh. What has she experienced in life? 20 years with a doctor girl. She is that because she has level.
Sports and news to keep you updated all day and every day.
Join the conversation on your number one talk station.
95.1 Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Let's talk. Here on Info, we give you a great blend of all. Local or foreign, we've got you covered.
Blackouts across Nigeria as national grid collapses.
The UN is warning of the consequences of Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
We are right on
95.1 Nigeria Info.
your number one station for talk. It's all talk and more talk on Nigerians' number one talk station.
This country needs a marshal, needs a sheriff.
In some particular societies, especially in my tradition, a woman is not allowed to inherit land.
Issues that get your attention.
This thing has been a carryover for the time of Jonathan.
Yeah.
And they continue this billions.
Your views against all odds.
My word is that why those households, why are they not following up their job? Like
The intense conversation.
It has to be given to her now based on sentiment. These are some of the challenges that women go through on a daily basis.
Okay, bro.
And that
All and more on Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
OEM stands for Original Equipment Manufacturer. All right, it's just original equipment manufacturer. That is original parts being made as made available to replace in your car. All right, and that usually comes at a price. But I have on my list, number one is using detergents and water for your wiper.
Yes, that's very wrong. Now, detergents is not soluble to water. Yes, it's not soluble to water. And we call it the bonnet, what they call it, that's where the water comes out from.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very tiny. There's a name we call it. That detergent goes there to block those holes, thereby making that the pumping the water pressure to the machine pumping the water to get weak,
to do more work, more labor,
pushing out the water from
so because detergent is not soluble, unlike the liquid soap or the car wash.
Right.
Yes, that's soluble in water.
So in place of getting windshield washer fluid, you'd recommend car wash?
Car wash is better.
If you want to use soap for your wiper.
Yes, you can use car wash because car wash is soluble in water. It dissolves.
I wish you were not mentioning a brand here now.
No, let's just say car wash is not
liquid soap. Let's call it liquid soap.
Car wash is not even a brand.
Okay.
It can be any liquid soap can be car wash.
Okay, all right. I know Nigerians know what we're talking about already. Yeah. So you recommend liquid soap better?
Yes.
For your wipers. Yeah. All right. Or rather, just stick to water. It's better. As Fortune said, those the detergents and the small particles are not exactly. There's even a lot more to why it is not good for the wiper blades, which is one of the things that damages. Already, we buy fake wiper blades. We buy fake wiper blades already, so it makes it even worse. Another one here is, I don't know. Please tell me this is wrong, because I heard from a mechanic, and I choose not to believe, that some people, when they service their car, they refuse to change the oil filter.
Oh God, that's very, very wrong.
Do people do that?
Yes, yes, I've heard of that, but I think that.
Have you seen that personally?
Yes, I've seen
people that service the car and don't change the filter.
Now, there's how the powertrain works. This filter helps to filter particles and goes straight to the oil pump, because the oil pump works with high pressure. The more you throttle, the more the pressure increase. So now you blocking that filter, you are stressing the oil pump. And at the end of the day, if oil pump should fill for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes when you are when you are on touring, definitely you lose that engine. That engine is as good as almost gone. Just 2 minutes on touring you lose the engine. Now, the oil pump needs the filter to filter those oil that it will send to the engine walls.
Right.
So that there will be a full lubrication on the engine parts from the top engines down.
What is wrong with an old oil filter?
Now, there's some debris that will be on the old filter that might have blocked the old filter, thereby reducing the pressure from the oil pump. Okay.
So when you use an old oil filter, which has already absorbed a lot of dirt.
Some people remove it, they will go and wash it. Yeah, washing is
people wash oil filter.
Yes. But that's how much is oil filter? Oil filter is not expensive now. So why will you leave it there?
I mean, I even have a problem with the quality of oil filters that we get to use.
Yes, there are original ones. There are original filters in the market.
I know, but like how much an average original oil filter will go for?
Depending on the car. Depending on the
like a random Toyota brand.
You can get original from 2,000 to 5,000.
2,000 naira
to 5,000.
I don't think there's any original for 2,000 naira.
Yeah, you can get
quality. Not like it is fake, but it is just
Hondas. You can get
2,000 naira.
Yes.
Okay.
But some will tell you 3,000. Some will tell you 4,000.
I beg to differ, but let's continue. All right. So I don't know if you do that. If you do that, I think you should stop. I mean, I'm struggling to believe that people actually replace old oil filters.
That's very, very.
It's not just fail to replace oil filters. Some people even run most of their oil beyond.
Yes, that's
distance.
another
they
maintenance.
run it beyond the distance the service period is supposed to cover, and then at the end of the day, sometimes based on financial inability, they tend to also cost more by immediately changing the oil from the previous brand they use.
Okay, you know what, Alex? We'll talk more on this when we come back from this commercial break.
Okay.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Putting a lot of work on the oil pump of your engine. like Fortune likes to call it powertrain. All right, so please make sure you stop doing that. Let's look at other. Let's start with you, Alex. What do you have as something that Nigerians should look out for and should stop doing?
There's this habit that a lot of our new drivers have, aggressive driving.
Are you sure it's only new drivers that do aggressive driving?
Most of the young folks now who drive these days, they are.
Is aggressive driving actually wrong? When you say aggressive driving, do you mean excessive revving?
Yes, excessive revving. Always.
But what if you're driving a sports car?
Yeah,
or a tuned engine.
Yeah, sports cars are built as sports cars to adapt to situations like that, but not when you are driving a normal
sedan.
Maybe you are even driving a 4-plug. You are driving a 4-plug. You are always aggressive. Not to talk of when you are driving a V6, always kicking down and kicking down and kicking down. Sometimes you don't even let the engine. When you are doing most of those aggressive driving, you don't even let the engine get to a certain level before you take your leg off the gas, and then once you see a small maneuver, you kick down all over again constantly. So you see, things like that are very. I see it as a bad habit in driving, especially when you are not racing anybody. In Abuja Road, you are not racing anybody. You are not on any competition. Or you just see the road, and it's not like you have a whole express where you can kick down and then hold the gas like that. The engine and the gear keep selecting sequentially the way it's supposed to, and get to an optimal operational level. But you just kick down small distance. You have punched. You have hit on the brake.
On the brakes again.
Maneuver. You kick down again. The engine and the gear keeps going back and forth. Selecting overtaking gear and coming back to gear 1 again because you start,
Right.
Sort of,
I mean, you are within Wuse 2. You are within the Gariki. You're driving like you're on a Kuba Expressway.
Just aggressive on the car unnecessarily.
Right.
There's no point to it. So
Indeed.
Those are also some bad habits in driving that car.
Indeed. I'm sure many Abuja people can relate to this one because you see a lot on the road. All right. So, Fortune, what do you have for us too?
Okay. Just like what Mr. Ale said, aggressive driving, that is part of it. Now, on that thing is how your engine cooling system, how you use your engine cooling system.
When you say engine cooling system, what do you mean?
Okay, now, number one, first of all, engine cooling system means your radiator, your coolant, for your engine to maintain optimal operating temperature. Now, every powertrain, every engine has its own operating temperature. I know I keep saying that.
Yes.
Now, there's some mistakes that some car users do. In fact, mechanics helps the car users. Some mechanics, roadside mechanics, they help the car users to cool their engine. Number one is what? Using water instead of coolant. Now, water is corrosive, while coolant is non-corrosive. Water tends to make your engine walls rust.
That's the radiator.
Yes,
the walls of the radiator.
Aside of the walls of the radiator, your engine walls, where the water goes round,
because water and metal makes metal rust.
Yes, it makes metal rust, especially on high temperature. It makes the metal rust. It kills your water pump. Because the way water pump is made to work is made to last the lifetime of that car. It kills your water pump. It kills your radiator cells. And water is corrosive. Now, coolant has a high operating temperature. 1, 2, coolant are non-corrosive. So coolant is the best. That's why if you bring an engine, if I see an engine that is using water, I will know. Once I do from the radiator, I will know. If you see an engine, a powertrain that is using coolant, you will know. You see the engine tends to be very clean and white. Not like the ones that use water. So that's another mistake some car users do. Another mistake some car users do on their cooling system is removing the thermostat. Now, what is the job of the thermostat? The thermostat helps the engine to operate on its optimal temperature level. Every engine has an operating temperature level.
Okay.
Where it works. Now, you removing that thermostat. 1, you are overcooling the engine below the operating temperature. Now, what is the side effect of this is that it makes your engine consume more fuel. That's what some people don't know.
What is this? What is the relationship between the engine being overcooled because you have removed the thermostat and the high consumption of petrol? How does that relate?
Okay,
what's the connection?
Very good. There's the ECU. There's the temperature reader.
Right.
The temperature switch. Now, the temperature switch works with the ECU, which is the brain bus. Now, once your engine cools below the operating temperature, this is send signals to the ECU, which is the brain bus, that engine is too cool, release more fuel. Engine is below operating temperature, release more fuel.
So the response to that overcooling of the engine is that the car demands for more petrol.
Yes, it demands for more petrol.
To perform at a hotter...
so that the combustion will be complete. To have an optimal combustion.
Oh.
So these are the little things that...
So that's one of the things that leads to that increase in fuel consumption.
Just watch. But if you are using a car for some time, remove the thermostat and use it for just 1 week and see. You will see that the ECU, the brain bus, adjusts to the operating temperature of that engine.
But Fortune, the challenge with where this whole remove thermostat, connect fan direct, where it started from is because when the thermostat is there, it tells the engine and the fan to regulate the fan when to pick up. So when the engine is now getting too hot, the fan picks up, cools the engine back to normal temperature, and it switches off again.
Yes.
When it is now at the normal temperature.
Just to maintain that operating temperature. Because every engine has its own operating temperature.
But when a thermostat goes bad, there's nothing to communicate with the fan system. So at that point, then overheating starts.
Now,
overheating can lead to burning of gaskets.
Yes.
Which can be costly depending on the car.
That's why we have the instrument cluster board where everything is being displayed. Now, the instrument cluster board have the temperature gauger.
Instrument cluster board. What is this?
That we call the dashboard.
Okay.
Yes, it shows you.
Is dashboard now you call instrument cluster board?
Yes.
Okay, you go calm down.
So it shows you the level of temperature of that car. That's why we see the way the manufacturer produces your car is at your direct front. As you are driving, you can just step down. That's another thing. We don't monitor our instrument cluster. We just start what
some people will be driving, the turn signal will be on, and they'll keep driving.
Keep driving. Now, this is why the instrument cluster board is at your front, so you can study. That thing is meant to study your car, to know the level of everything on your car. That's why if even your pump is failing, before you know, you see your oil light begins to blink. The switch will send a signal to the ECU, and before you know it.
But this one that many car dealers now, they go down block this thing for back.
This is why
they will remove the speed clock. Block this one, block that one. You say this car not get engine, check engine lights.
I went to inspect a car for somebody yesterday. It was an Honda 2017 model. When before I diagnosed the car, I was inspecting it. Then I just put on the ignition, and I discovered that the check light was blocked. ABS light was blocked. You understand? In fact, only that one alone is like a no-no for me. Why will you block the check engine light? Why will you block the ABS light? These are safety. ABS is a safety system that works with the brake system and the transmission. Why will you block it? So this is why you see you don't just rush to buy a car.
Please.
You just have to diagnose the car.
If you want to buy a car, except you know about cars, you are an authority yourself. I think it's safe to say get a professional to help you check. Because the kind of things that are happening, I mean, I think I shared this last week where I learned that now they don't even just block with paper anymore. They connect the one for, I think it's the oil pressure light with the check engine light. They connect both wires. You know, very, very oil pressure light, after you start the engine, it goes off. So they connect that to the check engine light. So it comes on and it goes off.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
that's why you see, like those kind of cars now, the electrical system of those cars have been compromised.
Yes.
And definitely you are getting a wrong signal from the instrument cluster board.
Indeed. All right. And before we move on from this cooling system, another issue is that people try to get thermostats, but you can get like 4, depending on the kind of car it is, you can get like 4 to 5 Tokumbo thermostats. None will work in your car.
No, thermostats are not meant to die that way. Now, very easy way to Nigerians will pay me for this. Very easy way to check if your thermostat is active. Just boil the water. As the water gets to like 100 degrees, 90 to 100 degrees Celsius. In fact, let's say 80 to the boiling point, put the thermostat in it. You will see there's what they call expansion. You see expansion. There's this linear thermal expansion that happens on the thermostat. There you see it opens. Now, yes, once you remove it, put it in a cool water, you see it contracts back again, it closes. Then you will know that the thermostat is super active.
Oh, I see.
So another thing that kills your thermostat is using water too. Water also kills thermostats. Yes. Thermostats are not even meant to die because these are ions. These are metals that work with the linear the operating temperature of your car. Every thermostat now, you can't use the thermostat for Honda, for Toyota. Every powertrain has its operating temperature. Some cars are 74 degrees Celsius. Some cars are 80 degrees Celsius. Like the German cars, some of them are even up to from 90 to 1.
Because of the kind of combustion that's going on.
Because of the kind of combustion and the kind of metals that are used in building that powertrain.
All right. Okay, quite an interesting one. Alex, let's come back to you. What other common mistakes or bad driving habit do we look out for?
I have this very common. It's very common with a lot of drivers driving with low fuel.
Oh, my brother, if you want to talk to me, come direct.
That one hard.
If you want to talk to me, look me in the face and tell me that you're talking to me. Which will be cutting corners? Yeah, go on.
You know, you see, driving with low fuel comes with a lot of consequences, you know, especially with let's start with the fuel pump of the car, you know. That one is one of the major things that causes damage in your fuel pump.
Right.
And then it also starves the car from a lot of things, you know. So, and those things make the car operate under pressure,
right?
Because there's no enough fuel, you know, circulating in the car. So that alone, it shows you a lot of damage that it can cause to your car, you know. So I think,
yeah, I mean, you're absolutely correct. I think I learned a hack some time ago. Someone said if your car is on empty and you can't drive the car again because the petrol is actually finished.
Okay, now
treat quarter tank as your empty.
Okay, now this is how your car fuel system work. Now the fuel pump has some, is just like a magnetic how do they call it, coiling that works. The fuel pump, as it works, it gets hot, it's heat. So now the fuel acts as a cooling agent for that fuel pump. That's why we see somebody that buys full tank will not buy fuel pump more like somebody that buys quarter tank or quarter to empty tank. Because now the fuel pump is not just for your car, it also helps the fuel helps the fuel pump
to cool down,
to last longer. And thereby stressing, also you stress your nozzles, the nozzles of that car. Yes. So driving it on a low fuel.
All right.
It's not advisable.
We have a message here. Hi, Capital Drive team. Please, where can I get original Peugeot parts? I spend so much on parts, but always have a feeling that what I changed is better than the new ones. Is Pan still in Nigeria? Where can I get original Peugeot parts? Joe from Muya. I think it's got to be a Apple mechanic, right?
Yes, but it's just that one thing, you have to be careful. You have to know the genuine part. You have to get to do research to know the genuine parts. Sometimes if I know of some people that if you have to order outside from different platform to order genuine parts. But they are still good, they are still genuine parts at all these Apple, Guju, all those other places. But it's that for you to shine your eye.
All right, or trust a technician. Hopefully, your technician is one that you can trust.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. Good morning, Abuja Drive. I have always had this argument with people that the use of AC while driving doesn't consume fuel by default. That the consumption is as a result of the compressor slowing down the engine, which in turn slow down the speed of the vehicle, thereby causing the driver to raise the engine some more to keep up to its original speed. Basically, the driver's fault. What's your opinion on this?
Okay. Now, the AC was not designed to bring your engine down.
Okay.
Now, there's what they call the idle control sensor. The idle control sensor compensates for the extra load that the AC gives to the engine. Yes.
That's an idle control
sensor,
valve.
Yes. The idle control sensor. It can be a valve.
It might cut a valve.
Yes, it can be the drive-by-wire method. It helps to compensate for the extra load. Now, there's something that we Nigerians do. We remove the automatic compressor, the compressor that is being manufactured with that car. Because after the compressor fail, we put maybe a bigger we call it Peugeot compressor also.
Yeah.
Yes.
A different compressor.
We put a different system on that car. Now, let me tell you something. Most times, this compressor don't align with the idle control sensor.
Yeah. In different ways.
It does not align with the idle control sensor. Thereby, essentially, let the car be a four-cylinder. You see, it drags the engine. But most times, V6 and V8 are able to adapt because of the power, the capacity of the engine. So that's the thing.
All right.
And I just wanted to add one thing, like what Mr. Fortune said. When you are saying your AC consumes more fuel, is your thermostat intact? You should also consider that.
Not just even thermostat, the oxygen sensor. Bank 1, bank 2.
Is all your system
you have taken out your thermostat, and then how would the car not take more fuel to power the whole thing?
So because now the air conditioning system works directly with the cooling system too.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
So sometimes, as a matter of fact, when the cooling system is not even properly, is not optimal, it affects the cooling, the air conditioning system.
Yes, it affects both over the idle control sensor.
And that's why these modern cars, they do. When you compare the consumption of petrol, the thermostat of those ones are intact. So you can drive once the temperature inside the car.
Yeah.
Just like also when the engine gets to a certain temperature,
operating
temperature, and then the thermostat kicks in.
Yeah.
You have to. It starts saving fuel for you because the compressor is no longer active at that point in time. So, but when it's not there, when the thermostat is not there, it's just running constantly.
If technicians know these things, why do they advise Nigerians to do otherwise?
No. I think a lot of them don't look at this other side of it. They just know that the thermostat doesn't suit Nigerian temperature. Period.
How did that particular narrative? How did it become popular?
Very, very
let's address this thing right now, gentlemen. Do we have the hottest climate in the world?
No.
What about those guys that they drive those hillocks in Dubai? That they drive the engines in the desert, those off-roads, that they pressure those engines more than we even pressure with the hot temperature they have there.
On the sandy ground.
On the sandy ground. And then here, how many hotness do we have here compared to a desert?
Even sometimes in Texas, sometimes they hit 40 degrees Celsius.
Even California.
Some countries, even China. There's some
heat waves in the UK.
Even North Dakota.
During that summer.
There's a lot of places that heat temperatures that are more than
I think with these few points of theirs, you've been convinced and not been convinced. I mean, if a mechanic in 2026 is telling you that because of our hot weather, commot thermostat, I think you should look at him and tell him, "Oh, guy, you don't know what you're saying." Maybe the guy used a Dasu that year, 1988, lane walk. He never upgrade. All right, Yemi from Garaki says, "Good morning, Professor Gabriel." Professor, how now? Happy weekend to you and your family, Yemi from Garaki. A big shout out to the automobile engineers. Great job, guys. Well done. Thank you so much, Yemi from Garaki. Good morning, Mr. Gabe and the gentleman in the studio. A staff bus driver in my office once told me that wearing shoes to drive consumes more fuel. Is this true? Why are you guys laughing? What is the problem?
No, it's funny now. One thing is that I think I will call it a superstitious belief.
A very superstitious.
Maybe they believe that if you have a shoe, you have to step more on the pedal.
We just need to tell our government to work on this fuel issue. This fuel issue is making people believe different things. God will help us.
All right, I don't know how to drive with my legs. I don't know how to do it. I think since
it feels very uncomfortable though.
I think at some point it begins to hurt the underneath of your feet, right? I don't. People that do it, I don't know how to do it, but I can't drive with my bare legs.
It's mostly common with first-time drivers, people who are just learning how to drive.
Manage the pedal, acceleration, and whatnot.
They need that connection between their leg and the.
You're absolutely correct. All right, we're still looking at some maintenance habits or bad maintenance habits and bad driving habits that drivers have that damage their car. I think this one is something that is important to mention. How Nigerians park automatic cars is something that calls for concern.
Yeah.
So many times when Nigerians, many people rather, let me not say Nigeria, many people when they get to their destination, is either automatic car for park, and then the car does something. As a machine that it is, it will roll either forward or backward. That thing is one of the biggest killers of transmission.
Yes.
It may be little, but small. Every time that roll happens. And so when you want to engage that car from park to maybe reverse gear or drive gear, you now see that forceful
heat
gear. I don't know if that
alone should send you a signal that you have done something wrong.
You have done something, but many people just keep doing it.
They just neglect it and feel it's normal.
He's as in, I think he's just about sensitizing car users. You see, I think we had the argument. There was one that I was driving. I did that mistake.
Yeah.
Now, one thing, most of the cars we drive, we don't even care about our handbrake system. The handbrake system of our cars. Even when the handbrake is bad, we just ignore it. And provided your car can move, you don't want to
manual drivers.
Yes, you don't, especially those that drive manuals. In fact, some of them even use their gear one.
I mean, for manual, it's a lot easier. You can even park. I drive a gear stick too. For several years, I owned the manual car. You could park on gear one, and leave the car would, function properly. And when you want to move, you step on the clutch pedal, release it to neutral, and you get moving. All right. So you're good like that. But for the park, for automatic cars, is a lot more complicated than that, because many of these cars, remember I spoke about type of transmission pins, the 22-pin gear. Yeah. Imagine doing this on a 12-pin gear, like the 2014 Toyota Corolla that uses a CVT. Just imagine this kind of thing on that kind of car.
That thing has made many people to change their transmission. The easiest way to park a car is put it on neutral. You engage the handbrake or the leg brake. Let the car be on a stationary mode, then you engage your park.
Right.
I think it's more safer that way.
Right. Absolutely. So just to reiterate, what he's saying is that the proper way to park your car, right? Put the car on neutral when you get to your destination and engage your secondary brake. All right? So the car rests on the secondary brake, not on. Park is not brake. Park is a gear.
Stop gear.
Park is a gear. It's a stop gear. All right? It's a gear like other ones. For many of these cars with a traditional transmission system. For the CVT, it's even more delicate. All right? So when you put it on neutral and secondary brake, either the leg brake or the handbrake, and then you can even turn off the car at that point and then put it on park. That way, the car is resting on the secondary brakes and not on park gear. When you're moving next, it's just an easy switch from park to reverse or park to drive gear. And that is another thing that I think we talk about. All right. Can we have a few more? Who's going next?
Okay. Another careless thing that car users do is washing their powertrain. Now, or washing their engine recklessly.
Blowing engine?
Yes, washing
car
your
wash.
engine. Yes, you just go to car wash. I'll go wash my engine. You know, there's a better way of washing an engine. You don't just spray water on engines. Anyhow. Now, doing that, you can end up damaging. Maybe if there are some cars at the ECU, which is the brain box, is the engine compartment.
All right, let's come out from this commercial break.
After this,